It doesn't matter if you're the best wrestler. It doesn't matter if you're the best talker. It doesn't matter if you're the best overall performer. It doesn't matter if you make the two clowns sitting to my left on commentary look like amateur hour. There is a glass ceiling and nobody is allowed to break it. That's the simple story of this place. The more popular you are, the more money you make. The more you people cheer for any given superstar, the more opportunities you're afforded. Why do you think a guy like John Cena, who has admittedly had the worst year of his career, gets title shot after title shot after title shot after title shot? Or why a lethal grappler, why a serious submission specialist like Daniel Bryan puts a smile on his face and saddles himself, belittles himself with catchphrases? Or why a 400-pound monster, Brodus Clay, soils his hands by touching your filthy, ugly little children to get in the ring so he can shuck and jive for you? Or why an invisible child, little Jimmy, is better positioned on the flagship show, Monday Night Raw, than a workhorse like Tyson Kidd? And nobody's ever been able to attain a modicum of success without you. Except for now. Until I showed up. I have become the most successful WWE champion of all time. Not of the modern era. No, that's another little buzzword that somebody backstage wants you to say. They probably want to put it on a t-shirt. But that's the way you get noticed. You don't get noticed until you start to move a couple of t-shirts around here. If I competed in Bruno Sammartino's era, I'd have been champion for 20 years too. No, I'd have been champion for 30 years. Because wrestling one night a month in Madison Square Garden is easy. You never see a Hulk Hogan wrestle TLC matches against a superstar like Ryback. Because he had it easy. I wrestle physically demanding matches on free television week in and week out. So much that my 1 year equals 30 of theirs. And I've attained this success. Not because of you. I am successful not because of you. I am successful in spite of you. Here's some honesty. I watched Roddy Piper smash a coconut over Jimmy Snuka's head, and I sure as hell didn't say, golly gee, I can't wait to go electrify the people of Tampa Bay, Florida. No, because I don't care about the people of Tampa Bay, Florida. There's good guys and there's bad guys in this world, and make no mistake about it, ladies and gentlemen, I am a bad man.
We had say what? A whole lot of superstars on this stage here tonight. But I want y'all to know one thing. This is my house. And when I say who's that?
Word attack skills and vocabulary too. Cover hits in the edition, it's all brand new. You're through. I'm interplanetary and like Doctor Who. So who?
Fuck your beef, no relief. I step on stage, girls scream like I'm Keith.
Turn the party up. Ringtime Pro Wrestling is back at it. I hope the ceiling fan behind me is not kicking up too much interference because I forgot to turn it off before I got started. Keith and Keshia are in the building. Keshia is back in the saddle. Keshia, say hi to the people.
They fought me out of the darkness, and they finally let me come back into the light. And now I'm a struggling mess because going from night shift to day shift is the worst shit ever. People, it's awful. Like I don't see why people do this. It's just bad. I need to get my life together. Like I'm serious.
So that's what it was. She was working night shift. She wasn't locked up for selling bootleg iPhones like some internet rumors may have alleged.
And look, let me tell you something, okay? I'm told these folks I wasn't doing that shit. I don't know why the hell people didn't believe me. But it's fine, you know, whatever. Like, to those that have faith in me, I still love you. I don't know about everybody else. Y'all tripping, all right? get your shit together.
We did not do a show last week. Real life showed up and things happened. I had to run out of town. So we're back. We got a show this week. We will get you caught up, not just on wrestling, but things with us. Things that are going on in our lives. Because this show, what y'all don't know, is partly therapy. It is partly helpful for us to purge. It
Right.
Also, this is where me and Keshia catch up. Sometimes when we talking, it really got nothing to do with y'all or wrestling. We just gotta get caught up.
We can keep telling all our secrets. I ain't doing.
I don't think it's a secret. I've said some of the best conversations don't even hit the air because it's done a pre-show or post-show production.
This is true. This is true. I will say that. This is definitely true.
Sometimes it gets heated in pre-show, and we gotta be like, hey, stop that. Save that for the show.
Right.
We gotta get in here. But here we are.
But no, we was already talking about it. So
Yeah.
why would we have to say? I'm not saving nothing if we're gonna talk about this right now. But then I get shut down, so I'll be like, all right, fine, whatever. I can deal with it.
But we're gonna go through the show. We're gonna get you caught up. I did not take notes last week because usually I combine my notes. I'm not doing that. What I will say is, okay, so for the last time we talked, G1 USA happened. The second one for New Japan. We previewed that show. Thank you all, everybody who listened and downloaded. It was one of our more successful shows this year, 2018. Which also shows me the shift of the tide in the wrestling world, that shows strictly about New Japan are going to start doing better than WWE shows. Okay, so that's the thing. But incredible show, great ending, great match, and then the world blows up after that because we think the Bullet Club is 100% united, and then there's another splinter faction, and it might be my favorite one ever. Haku Kids, the Firing Squad, Gorillas of Destiny, whatever you want to. Keish. I got my life. I was like, all right, Haku and his sons took out everybody. I said, this is what we need. But yeah, so that happened. G1 28 has kicked off. I think everybody's up to about 3 matches or so. I can give you a brief rundown of the leaderboard right now. Jay White, Switchblade, fresh off of losing the United States IWGP title, is on a roll in this G1. I'm not going to try to handicap it now because I didn't do it before this tournament started, so I don't know, and I probably wouldn't have picked him to be out this far ahead. But right now, he got 6 points at the top of the leaderboard in Block A. Block B, it's a tie between Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi, which that is going to be a very interesting storyline, right? Because they're best friends. They are. Kenny still got the Bullet Club. Koto is. I don't know how this is going to work out, but now they're both trying to be at the top of that block. Kenny is at the top of everything because he got the belt. All right, so Jay White, this is where Jay White makes his ascension, where he goes to the next level. Just to give you an idea, he beat Okada first match of this whole thing. In his first match in this tournament, he beat Okada. Okada been taking a few losses lately, but damn, you beat a guy who just held the title for 720 days. I think that says they believe in you. So I'm interested to see what happens going forward. When it's over, of course, we're going to give you a full recap. Somewhere mid G1, we'll do more analysis on the standings and who is doing what and what does that mean. What does it mean for the title picture? Because I can't guarantee you Kenny Omega's going to have a belt in January when it comes time to defend it. But we're going to find out who's going to challenge for that belt in January at Wrestle Kingdom, which think about this, Keisha. What if the WWE did something where the person who had the title, we had a title match set. I mean, well, it's kind of similar with Royal Rumble, but not so much. And then even they mess with that now from time to time. But I don't know. I think New Japan is doing something incredible. I enjoy the G1 every year. It's nice that now we get to see it on U.S. television.
Right.
But yeah,
I'm glad that they decided that the market needs. I'm glad that they made the decision to have G1 in the first place. It's definitely worth it, especially for the New Japan fans that live here. Of course, that aren't able to watch it on a regular basis. That's not able to, of course, be there live. Because I mean, come on, we already know where it is. So it's an exciting event. It's exciting to watch and everything. I love it, man. Like, I think it's awesome, personally. So, they need to keep it. I like the direction that they're going in. You know what I'm saying? Like, I honestly can say, I never get bored with New Japan storylines. Like, I don't. I don't. I follow them. I might not watch it as much as I should, but I never get bored with it. Like, every time I see it, where they're going with it, it's like, yes, this is worth watching.
Yeah.
It's always worth watching.
Yeah, I think more people will get into it, and because of the technology, we'll watch more of it. As I am moving and I'm downgrading my cable package, I'm going to need something to fill the time. So, I'm not cord cutting all the way, Keish, but it's going to be... I'm going to have to depend on some of these subscriptions to kind of get me through. So I'm going to watch a lot more New Japan. But with that being said, a little bit of sad news. We'll go through some legends. Mr. Saito passed away. He formed a legendary tag team with Mr. Fuji in the 70s in the WWF. And also wrestled AWA Tag Team Champion. Also, Virgil Flynn passed away. For those of you who don't know, Virgil was a very popular independent wrestler. And he passed away at the age of 33, man. Due to a stroke. 13-year vet in the ring. He competed in Global Force. He was a regular performer at Hood Slam. AJ Kirsch, who is the man over there, posted some things, very flattering things about him. The internet poured out their love. So, I'm hitting that one. And then Brickhouse Brown passed away. So, I always like to educate. And I got that news today. Brickhouse was a professional wrestler in the 1980s, 90s, but his most popular time was in the 80s, right? He was from Delaware, I guess, but he broke into business in Memphis, right?
Yeah.
Talking about Flynn, talking about Brickhouse, there's a little... We're going to do the show a little different, so... Because we're going to talk about race and wrestling while we're here. Brickhouse was one of the pioneers in the 80s. He was regarded as a big-time heel. In the 80s, and one of the top heels, which... In wrestling, black wrestlers in those days, to really make money, had to be heels. I think Watts is like the first promoter I know of that really positioned black wrestlers as baby faces. And I mean, other promoters too. Like Bobo Brazil was a popular baby face on the East Coast. They use him a lot. But a lot of black wrestlers were heels, which it was a context for the audience, right? So if you were catering probably towards white customers, especially in southern places. So, and then you had these segregated facilities anyway, so you didn't let there be black people in to begin with. Your hero, you probably want him blonde, blue eyes, and stuff like that. What's the best villain to go against him? Hey, a big black dude. I know it sounds crazy as a black person saying this, but you get a big black dude because white people in the South in the 1980s feared big black dudes. Gonna say America still fears big black dudes. So it worked out. Brickhouse. The guy was 5'8", 242 pounds, Keish. Brickhouse is probably the most accurate description of Mr. Brown. Birthday, Frederick C. Wright. Won the USWA Tag Team Championships a couple of times. USWA Television Championship. He feuded with Rob Fuller and the Stud Stable. Beat Jerry Lawler for the Southern NWA Southern Tag Team Championships and the Southeast. No, I want to South. It was like the AWA Southern Heavyweight title. He beat him for that. In the 90s, he did it. You know, he worked his way around. Unfortunately, he suffered from cancer. 2017, I think he was diagnosed with prostate cancer. Brickhouse lost a lot of weight. He was at stage 4 in 2017. The cancer spread. They revealed that this year. And it's a sad day in wrestling. You know, a lot of people that you grow up watching and learn about, stuff like that. I didn't really grow up watching Brickhouse. He was one of those guys that I learned about later on because I started diving into the USWA, which, hey, if you got Amazon Prime, you know how you got Prime Video? They have a crazy archive of USWA wrestling. Now, it's not the most put together thing, right? Like somebody just... I feel like somebody used to just watch the show every Saturday and you just put VCR tapes in and they built up a library and then they transcribed them digitally. Everything doesn't make it over. It, you know, some of the matches, but it's a good one. It's fun to watch. If you just want to sit back and have some fun, if you remember the 80s and the 90s, put on some of that USWA on Amazon Prime. I know sometimes, because when I first came home from college, and when I was transferred down to New York State, I was staying at home for a little while. Keshia can attest to this. I used to work in the evening, so I couldn't really see wrestlers, so I used to tape them. My tape library probably wasn't. This is how I know this happened. My tape library wasn't always cohesive because you start running out of tapes. So sometimes half of SmackDown was on top of half of a Raw from like 4 weeks later. And when you watching the USWA, you might see some of that. But it's still good times. Keish, if I could still find some of the wrestler tapes from the early 2000s, I'd sit down and watch. I really would. I want to bring me back SmackDown from 2000, like early 2000, like March of 2000. Who knows what was happening? But neither here nor there. But I guess we'll have this race discussion later on because there's something happened in the news. We'll get to it. You know what I mean? Because I said something about it on Twitter. Keshia acknowledged what I said, so I figured she has some opinions, so we're going to air that out. Everybody good? We're good. Alright. Keish, Extreme Rules.
Oh my God.
We're going to go match by match. Here's the thing. not that extreme, right?
Negative.
Birthed out of the ECW one night stands. Eventually, as ECW faded out, we just still had one night where we went the extreme. Problem is, they still have all these matches during the course of the year, right? So they're not special. I don't. You know what I don't like? I don't want to be the What's Wrong with Wrestling guy. I don't. But it's like people aren't trying. If I hit this Mega Millions tonight, God be with me, and that 400 million come my way. I mean, hey, God be with us all, cause hey, when I give y'all the call, y'all just need to be there. Okay, that's all I need to tell you. When I give y'all the call, show up. That's all.
Look, you give me a call. You ain't gotta worry about that. Cause I'm gonna throw my stuff into the car. I'm not even gonna pack. I'm literally just gonna grab things, put it in there, and be like, let's go. Right, that's it. And I'll be all right there.
Yeah. Like, and I will preference, this is the call. That's what I'm gonna say. This is the call. This is it. This is not a drill. But yeah, aside from that, and the next time this show comes out, it will be done in a professional studio. But besides that, I'm gonna have to start my own promotion, Keish, or I'll buy into a promotion here in the local area, one that's already running.
I mean, it'll be better than Extreme Rules.
And
I'm just saying. I put it out there. It'll be better than that.
Yeah, because I'm going to book my own wrestling. Because okay, I fundamentally don't like the idea of a themed pay-per-view anyway. And what I mean by that is this.
Right.
I like themes like Great American Bash, right?
Right.
Set around July, America's birthday, da-da-da. I like war games because, look, these people, you build to this point every year, you make sure that the issues culminate there, and you bring in people who all have different levels of issues, but they all work together, right? Which works best with factions. If you have factions, you can do this, because I got the Horsemen. You don't like Rick. I don't like Tully. I don't like Rick either. But my main thing is with Tully. You don't like Tully, but your main thing is with Rick. You know what I mean? We go get two dudes who don't like, the Andersons. Cool. We got 4, they got 4. Let's do this. Right? And maybe we do 5. Everybody equally dislike everybody over there. We got to figure it out. I've been beefing with Rick all year. You've been beefing with Tully all year. They've been trying to get them tag team belts from the Andersons all year. Alright, cool. Everybody got a legitimate issue that we understand, and everybody else understand. This is the big payoff. Those guys been cheating and robbing all year long, and it's their time to get their comeuppance, right? And sometimes they will, and sometimes they won't. Sometimes people gonna get disappointed because they gonna cheat, they gonna figure out something, and bam, they gonna come out of this alive too. That's how those things work, right? Right now, there were a bunch of matches that didn't mean anything. People don't like stipulations because of the stipulation itself. The stipulation is supposed to come in context to a feud that we have become invested in that works for everybody. So I can tell you everything that was wrong with the build up to this, but but we'll just get to the matches. Sanity defeats the New Day in a pre-show tables match. So we're doing tables matches in the pre-show, which also, this is one thing I would say too. I have a critique. You know what's wrong with the co-branded pay-per-views, Keish? Because each show has been running their own storylines, you don't have enough time for everything, right? right now doing a pre-show, and they start all the pay-per-views at like 7 o'clock anyway. So I don't have 4 hours to give to wrestling every month. 4 hours should be big. This is how it should be. First of all, Raw needs to be 2 hours to make anything make sense, right? Then SmackDown is 2 hours. Then you have your pay-per-view. All right, y'all don't want to do 2 pay-per-views a show, like a pay-per-view per show every month, right? Alternate the pay-per-views. What I mean by that? All right, Extreme Rules. That could have been Raw. Then SummerSlam. That's a major. That's one of the big 4. You make that co-branded special. The month after that, SmackDown gets one. You know what I mean? The month after that, it goes to Raw. Till you get yourself to Survivor Series and you bring them together again. Why? Because when they're together, it's special. If they're going to be together every month, Keish, what's the brand extension? If they all going to be in the same place to be every month, what we got? Like I said, I get not running 2 pay-per-views a month because that could be exhausting. Right. But I don't get... Anyway, so these are things that just come to my mind. But yeah, so Sanity defeats the New Day. Good introduction for Sanity. They beat him in a tables match. Okay, good. The B team. Strange enough, for all the complaints I have, I was excited for this match. I must admit, I like the B team. And Jerry, I don't always go for the comedy or something like that. Sometimes like, oh man, y'all make people silly and all that. Hey man, I rocks with the B team. And I think it's something particular about when Bo Dallas imitates Bray Wyatt, right? Because one, I know deep down he's having fun, right? And I know for being a brother, I'm sure if I had some kind of character, if I was doing something, my brothers, my little brothers, would love to make fun of me. They would love to mock me in front of everybody. Mm-hmm. And that's fine. It might get real in that wrestling ring, but it was good. And I think Bo having some success, Bray getting to be a part of that, I like that, Keish. But yeah, we got new tag team champions on Raw with the B team. It's just I just wish there was a better division. You know what I mean? Right. And they got the division. Like if you go down the teams that are there and who is what, man, it's like I feel like what happened to the Authors of Pain? We rarely see them. We see the Revival every now and then. You know what I mean? Like I don't know, Keish. Finn Balor defeated Baron Corbin in a match that really didn't matter. Carmella defeats Asuka. Right? And there's the James Ellsworth thing that goes into this match. Once again, Keish, the build time just really didn't make sense. And it just didn't... I like Carmella sneaking out with it. Right? But I think she could be a dirty heel without James Ellsworth. Now, I'll give Ellsworth this. He gets heat because I legitimately don't like him. This ain't no hate or nothing like that. I just legitimately don't like him. Mm-hmm. I get it. He's living the dream. Right? But it's annoying. And then what happens is you start putting them in these matches. They did these intergender matches, which I am definitely opposed to. You will never convince me that intergender wrestling has any place or has any legitimate idea. Even though we're talking about fake wrestling. Like, you cannot put me in a place to believe in intergender wrestling. Why? Because I think it sets a bad idea. Right? I think if you see a guy grab a woman and body slam her. You know what I mean? I think that context is just bad. And putting the woman in the match with a guy and then she drop kicking him or whatever, I think the long-reaching effects of that are worse than... I think there's more negative than positive that comes from that. I don't know. Nobody has to agree with me on that. Just my opinion. I thought the match was goofy. And there was no payoff, right? So Ellsworth starts interfering immediately as the match starts. He's suspended above the ring and already just dropping stuff down because nobody checked him for anything. Cause you know how these shark cage matches work?
I enlighten me, cause I'm not sure,
okay.
And this is different from a regular cage match.
Yeah, this is what I want you. Look up Midnight Express versus somebody with Jim Cornette in the shark cage or something. And watch the match and see where Jim Cornette actually tries to impact the match. It's not the beginning. It's towards the end. Like, what happens is the manager's in the cage because of course, they don't want him to interfere. What happens is you get the heels getting beat up and getting beat up bad because the manager can't get there and do anything, and they get frustrated up there. You know what I mean? Then later on, when you put the ref in a bad spot, then you can finally do something where somebody drops some brass knuckles or something down. And it's like, oh, how did they miss that? I thought they checked it before he walked into the cage. Who? I don't know. That's how these things are supposed to work. Not like soon as he get up there, he dropping stuff down. Dropping it down and the ref see it like, hey, well, she didn't use it this time. No need to DQ. You know what I mean? I know wrestling's not real, but that don't mean you gotta stop trying. That's all I'm saying. I know it's not real, but that don't mean you gotta stop trying.
I mean, I guess in all fairness, they get out here and they put on a show for us day in and day out. Most of the majority of the year, good 95%. You know what I'm saying? Some get the credit they deserve. Some left in the dust. That's wrestling. It's wrestling, you know? But you can't just throw it together and be like, all right, here you go. What? Like, I don't... And that, to me, is what happened Sunday night. And it was awful. Keith, I can't take it. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Like, I, for one, am just disgruntled. I know that's not the word I need to be using, but I'm going to use it. Because that's just how I feel.
Yeah. So, Keish, my favorite wrestler in the world has become the Nut Punch guy.
It's awful, Keith. It is terrible. Like, I, for one, have gotten so sick. Like, their new at WWE, as we both know, WWE's new trend is, oh, everybody likes it, so we're going to shove it down your throat every week. No, that is not how you handle this. And so, the dream match has turned into a complete annoyance. They have taken Shinsuke and just completely gotten him to a point where it's like, all right, you get on my nerves. And it's crazy because Sunday night he wasn't even facing AJ Styles. Like, they gave him a different opponent, and I still was like, no, this is still annoying. Like, I'm through with it all. Like, is this what his heel character is just supposed to be? You know what I'm saying? Like, the Nut Puncher, like, it is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And I really need for them to they need to fire somebody. Where is the person that says y'all writing is horrible, you're fired? Like, I just need to understand. Like, I need to know what possessed them to even take this match in that direction. I actually can tell you, Keith, at that point, I was like, yeah, I'm going to turn this off because I can't watch this anymore.
Yeah.
It was that right there.
Yeah. I watched it, and it was like, okay, so we're going to do the squash match. Randy comes down, then he just kicks Jeff in the balls. Like, are we just ball kicking today? Like, that's what we're doing? First of all,
right.
Once again, bad example for the kids.
Awful.
That's one thing we don't need to keep encouraging kids to do, is to hit people in the testes.
You know, at least when we were kids, well, like, at least I can remember, you know, just taking two hands and pointing towards the crotch. Like, you wasn't out here, you know, worrying about nobody getting punched in the nuts. Like, this is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. Like, I'm like, all right, y'all gotta stop this shit. Like, for real. First of all, I'm sick of seeing folks getting punched in the nuts. That's not appealing. That's not appealing to see once. So why would I want to see this continuously? Who thought of that? Like, did somebody really honestly sit down and was like, you know what? We just gonna have him punch people in the nuts all the time. What? Come on, man. Are you for real? Yo, it's just, everything has spiraled out of control. It's just bad. Oh, it's just bad.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. But that happened. Kevin Owens defeated Braun Strowman and almost died in the process.
Yeah.
I actually liked this match. I liked where Owens got frustrated and decided he wanted to fight Strowman. Strowman threw Owens off a cage, not realizing that means he hit the ground first. But maybe it wasn't about winning, it was about inflicting pain on Kevin Owens. But Owens walks out with a win. Braun still is the monster in the bank.
Mm-hmm.
All is well in the land, right? Like, I think what happens is now, either one of those guys, however want to use them, it still works. Owens probably shouldn't be used anytime soon, because he just needs to heal. But yeah, I thought that worked out.
Yeah.
Keish, the Bludgeon Brothers defeated Team Hell No. Did you like it, or did you not like it?
I wasn't surprised.
Yeah.
You know, personally, I wasn't surprised. Not even a little bit. Even without the beat down in the back, like, I wasn't surprised. Like, it was like, all right, you know.
Yeah.
Are y'all really gonna do this right now?
No, because here's the thing. They weren't going to win the belts or nothing. Because Kane, unfortunately, you kind of know what's happening. So you know Kane can't hang around because he might be mayor. Like, he can't be wrestling every week, running a championship schedule. He trying to be mayor. Hey, he won that primary, and I'm confident. I think in Knox County, Tennessee, he's a libertarian. I think that's gonna go. Kane gonna be mayor. Well, Kane is not gonna be mayor. I'm sorry. Glenn Jacobs will be mayor of Knox County, Tennessee. But in weird WWE fantasy world, that's where, like, he in office, he gets mad at Democrats. He shows up to a city hall meeting dressed as Kane and start chokeslam people through tables. That's what a wrestler fan wants to see. Not how politics is going to work. But, like, I want him to show up to office as corporate Kane, but then when shit goes left, he just becomes Demon Kane. That's just mine. Never mind me. Anyway. Bobby Lashley defeated Roman Reigns, Keish. I did not call that. I thought we was going to see another Roman win. And shockingly enough, Keish, fairly decent match. Generally, when you get two wrestlers that have that similar feel to them, you like, this is gonna be garbage. Decent match. Are we gonna get Lashley versus Brock? Are we gonna get the MMA Dream? I don't know, but there's a possibility. Alexa Bliss defeated Nia Jax for the women's title. Pretty much, it was a match full of chaos. It was an Extreme Rules match. Both had people in their corner. Nia had Natty, because somehow Nia's a babyface again. And Alexa Bliss, of course, had Mickie James. So when Nia is fighting Ronda Rousey, she is a heel. But when she fights Alexa Bliss, she's a babyface. I'll go with that. Rousey was in attendance. She got involved too. But, and this is why I felt with Rousey being in attendance. Yes, she should have been there. How they marketed it was terrible. So, this is how you do this. Take you back to the old school. Ronda Rousey was suspended. She was suspended because she hip tossed the general manager, and she may have put the champ through a table. Alright. From that point on, she's on a 30-day suspension. That is it. Y'all doing interviews and stuff like that. You don't interview suspended people. They don't interview suspended people in other sports. No, she's suspended. Right? Now,
Right.
with Extreme Rules, y'all told the world she's going to be there. Okay. I don't think saying she was going to be on the front row would increase your buy rate. What you do is you say she's suspended. And she's suspended from everything. Right? You don't have to say it. Just say she's suspended. And you take it as a suspension. What happens is, at Extreme Rules, you shoot her like she's walking up and with her husband, and it's like they buy a ticket. And it's like, is that Ronda Rousey? And matter of fact, what you do is you shoot a group of fans. Why are you rarely shooting fans? I don't know. Maybe you put damn Zack Ryder at a merch table or something, right? Like, Zack Ryder, do your Zack Ryder stuff, woo woo woo, and then people see Ronda Rousey walk by. They're like, is that Ronda Rousey? She ain't here, she's suspended. Ronda, hey, Kurt Angle had suspended you for 30 days. Your 30 days ain't up. No, I'm not here as a worker. I'm here as a fan, because I love wrestling. Boom. That's how you get that cracking. Not like her telling people on Raw a month beforehand, yeah, I'm going to buy a ticket to be there. There's no element of surprise or nothing. Like, I would rather have Alexa Bliss show up and then look over like, oh, what the hell is she doing here? That's all. But I digress. Maybe that didn't matter, Keish. Maybe it didn't matter. But I thought the match was decent enough. Alexa retained the title. She retained it the right way. She lied, she cheated, she stole. There was chaos and she took advantage of it. She shouldn't have won, but she outsmarted everybody. And I like that. All the broad is against her. Everybody on the side is way more talented physically. She finds a way to do it. So, that was that. Match of the night, Keish, was not the main event. It was a WWE title match. Which, Keish, if you're on the show and there's no Universal Championship, this is the second pay-per-view in a row we've done this. There's no Universal Championship to defend. How is the WWE Champion not in the main event? But I don't know, Keith.
I don't either.
Like I said, match of the night: AJ Styles, Rusev. I think they still stole the show. It was a hard-fought victory for AJ. And how good is this guy, Keith? At 40-something, this guy is incredible. If I told you in 2010, when he was crushing it, when him and Kurt Angle were having 5-star matches in TNA, hey, that guy's going to be probably the best top-tier guy in the WWF in a few years. You'd have been like, they're not going to sign him. They're not going to pick him up. And they still kind of sunted him. Keish, like y'all going to keep the belt on him, but y'all ain't putting him in the spot.
Which doesn't even make sense. It's like, what's the point? Like, I don't understand why I do all of that. You know?
Yeah. But
it's stupid.
But like I said, they had a good match. Really turned out a lot. I feel bad for Rusev too. Like, I think he's just having all these false finishes because they know he's over. But you know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I know.
Right.
That's how you answer. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I know all right.
Yeah.
If you don't know, you better find out.
Dolph Ziggler successfully defended his IC title in the main event against Seth Rollins in an Iron Man match. Now, I get why this match is in the main event, though, Keish, because who wants to follow an Iron Man match, right? Even though I contend it's not an Iron Man match because it's 30 minutes. The definition of an Iron Man match would be an hour. It's 60 minutes. But that's fine. Half-hour Iron Man match. They go to sudden death, and then there's, stuff. But even with that one, yeah, McIntyre interfered, and it was like, unless I guess you go do a Rollins McIntyre thing, but I've been trying to get Rollins towards the world title. I thought the match between two guys who were so good as workers, I don't think they needed. Yeah. No. All in all, decent, but not like pay-per-view quality, right? And I don't know. I just didn't have 4 hours for it. But with that, we're 48 minutes into the show. We're going to hit our first break. We'll be back. And from there, wow. You know the funny thing about doing this too? Just things don't pop up right away like you want it to. But neither here nor there. We'll be back. And I'll find something to talk about.
But you burn the soul of Sister Abigail.
You alright?
Randy. So did I. And I should have known better. Sister Abigail is the spawn of Satan. She was forged in hell itself. And she still beats in the black hearts of all her apostles. Now she has bestowed her power upon me. Now I am the Lord of Lords, with no boundaries, the all-powerful, the all-seeing, the all-knowing. I am omniscient. It is my duty to purge all of the infidels in this life. I'll start with you. I have consumed all of her wickedness. She lives through me now, eternally. I'm born again, Randy. In her ashes, I baptize myself.
Mother.
So we are back at this thing, and I'm gonna do something we haven't done in like 2 months, man. 2 months.
Damn it. It's been that long?
At least. I haven't pulled up a calendar for nobody in a long time. It is birthday time, Keish.
Yes. Please.
And July has a significant amount of wrestling birthdays, so I'm gonna go as far as yesterday and work my way up. Day before yesterday is some stuff, but I don't feel like going to that. So yesterday, TNA announcer Jeremy Borash celebrated a birthday. Borash turned 44. Former WCW announcer, that kind of thing. Jinder Mahal had a birthday yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that happened. Adam Rose birthday is today. You know, Adam Rose and me the same age.
What?
Yeah. I don't know what Adam Rose is up to nowadays. And we ain't seen no rosebuds in a while.
Let's see.
But didn't he get accused of something?
Yeah, the last time I saw him, I think he had reinvented himself and was wrestling somewhere, like TNA or something like that. I can't remember. Like, he goes by a different name now. I don't know what it is, but that's the last I remember seeing of him. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
The Fabulous Moolah birthday is going to be on the 22nd, which would be Sunday. Moolah, if she was still alive, would be 95. David Von Erich shares a birthday with the great Moolah. Fabulous Moolah. I'm sorry. Like, the 22nd is crazy. Okay, Akira Tozawa, Cruiserweight Classic fame, member of the Titus brand, was born on the 22nd in 1985. Fandango is going to turn 37 this year on the 22nd. David Von Erich, which is probably the favorite of the Von Erich clan, at least within the business. Like, I think as far as fans go, I think Kerry is better known nationally because his run is the Texas Tornado. In Texas, in world class, David might be the guy because he was the one who was heir to the throne. He was going to be the guy who became NWA champ. Kerry ended up being NWA champ, but he wasn't as reliable. But David, who was the first one of the first sons that we knew about that had a tragic death. But yeah, David Von Erich would have been 60. And the big birthday from that day, the 22nd, HBK, Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels will be turning 53 on Sunday. Am I right? Yeah, 53. He ain't no sexy boy no more. He's an old man.
Right. He's been looking like an old man for like 3 years. Like,
yeah, like, it was funny when he had cut his hair. People was like, "Oh wow, he cut his hair. Why did he do that?" I'm like, "You seen that hairline?"
Exactly.
Like, you
cut his hair because he's losing it. Like,
yeah, you can't be rocking that ponytail when that hairline start towards the middle of your forehead. Not the middle of your forehead, but like this. When your forehead start coming back to your ears, you gotta quit. When your forehead, the tip of your forehead start lining up with your ears, you done went too far. Just like, I remember Jerry Rice used to have those struggle braids. Like, hey, bruh, the braids starting in the middle of your head. You ain't go ahead and cut that out. But, yeah. HBK. Turning 53.
Yeah.
There's some more birthdays like on Tuesday and stuff like that, but we can get to that next week, right? I'm just trying to think about stuff that I done seen. I'm looking at different names about different stuff. You know, like, I think we didn't mention, like, you know, Bianca Belair and Montez got married. Matter of fact, since we've been in and out of shows, Keith, there have been a lot of black wrestling wins. Cedric Alexander got married. I almost said Cedric the Alexander, like he was Cedric the Entertainer. Wow. Which, somebody's going to use that one day. He might use it. When he have a heel turn, he'll call himself Cedric the Alexander. But, yeah, man, a lot of black wrestling wins that went down. But let's get into the news, right? So, it's wrestling, but it's not really wrestling. Brock Lesnar showed up at UFC 226. Now, he don't show up at wrestling all the time, but he showed up at UFC 226. He was a guest of Dana White's. Daniel Cormier won his bout and became the combined light heavyweight and heavyweight champion of the UFC. He calls out Brock. Brock pops in the ring. Brock pushes Daniel Cormier. Bam, we got action. What are they doing? What are they going to do about it? Brock said, we just saw that embarrassing shit, and I'm going to come take that title. Keish, you know what the UFC just did?
What?
They just booked a wrestling angle. There was a time that MMA liked to stay away from professional wrestling, and the worlds are getting very blurred. And I don't think, honestly, I don't think that's good for the MMA in the long run. Because you know what people go start thinking? That what you do ain't real. Because you've involved yourself too much with the fake fighting. One of your biggest angles is this is real. And it's real because people get their face broke for real. But that stunt seemed a little improper. Like people knew what was going to happen. And that's going to hurt your credibility long run. And then, hey man, if Brock come in and beat the brakes off this guy who is a lot smaller than him in a heavyweight match, the dude who is away fake wrestling, I don't care what Brock does on actual television. I'm talking about fans' perception. Because here's the thing. People who don't watch wrestling don't know he ain't been around. But people who do, they'll start saying other stuff like, oh, well, maybe he was out doing this, or maybe he was doing that, or, hey, now you can see us. You know what I mean? I don't know. But I thought it was a bad look. But hey, Ronda Rousey's in the WWE now. CM Punk that got himself beat up in the UFC 2 times. Cain Velasquez, former UFC heavyweight, who has, I think, might have beat up Brock once in a real fight, has been trained at the Performance Center, and they've been advertising that. Are we just blurring the worlds of MMA and pro wrestling, Keish? Yeah. Yeah.
It's been intense. I don't know, man.
But
I don't know, Keith.
But let's go to the story of the hour, right? And then we'll start wrapping this up. For those of you who don't know, Hulk Hogan has been reinstated back into WWE. Apparently, he was at Extreme Rules on Sunday. WWE put out a big announcement, let people know he had been reinstated to the Hall of Fame, and his profile was back up. The New Day put out a statement of how they felt. Titus O'Neil had to address some rumors because people said he walked out and backstage at Extreme Rules, and that didn't happen. I'm going to say this for the media and all the wrestling outlets, because people asked Mark Henry how he felt. People asked this. I want you to ask other people besides black people about racism. That's all. Just look. Other people should have opinions on this. Somebody should have it, whether they happy he back or not. If they happy, they should be confident enough to say they happy he back. Kiss, the floor is yours.
Okay, so a lot of people believe that there's people out there that believe, like, alright, it's wrestling. You know what I'm saying? Like, really though, but doesn't really matter. It matters. It matters. If your favorite baseball player, football player, basketball player did the same thing, you will have the same kind of reaction. You'll be wanting something to happen, because at the end of the day, like, I'm not saying Hogan was my favorite wrestler, because that's far from the truth. But I don't deny the things that he's done for wrestling as a whole. But at the same time, all that shit went out the window. We find out he said nigga on tape. I ain't got time. And at the end of the day, I wasn't surprised. Like, everybody's like, oh yeah, he got erased from everything. Like, I'm like, yeah, but this is WWE we talking about. I know who running it. I know who runs the show. I know who he supports. I know all of that. So at the end of the day, I knew at some point they was gonna ease Hogan back into this picture. They was gonna ease him back into all of the swing things. It wasn't a doubt in my mind that one day Hogan was gonna be in their good graces all over again. He gonna sweep this shit under the rug and act like it never happened. Okay. Y'all running around here scrambling for every black person you see, asking them how they feel about it. What about everybody else? What if someone had the same sentiments that we have, but you're not asking them? You're just asking us. You don't care what they have to say. You don't care what we have to say.
Yeah, because
you
here's the
already
thing.
know what we gonna say.
Somehow racism is the responsibility of the people who are being racist against, which I don't understand. But
exactly. That's a huge negative. Like, what do you mean?
This is what I'll say.
That's not how this works.
I am not supporting or opposed of Hogan coming back. Right? The WWE is their own private company. They can do what the hell they want to do as their company. I think he can still add value for them in some way, shape, or form. I think people need the space to get better. That being said, I don't think this is the place or the time. But that's fine. One of my main gripes, like I said, is ask Dolph Ziggler, ask John Cena how he feel. Ask white wrestlers how they feel about this, because they should be either outraged or whatever. Everybody should have something going on with this. But it has been 3 years, and I respect that they didn't just rush, because they could have rushed this 6 months after he did it, right?
You know what? Personally, honestly, if you want my own personal opinion, if this is what you was gonna do, you should never fucking did it. That's my own personal opinion. Yeah, y'all want to do something to show, like, we ain't finna tolerate this shit. Baby, if y'all was gonna erase him, you should have permanently erased his ass. Y'all give him this 3-year suspension and let him come back and say nigga behind everybody back all over again. Baby, I ain't got time for it. Either you gonna do it or you ain't. I'm sorry, that's just my stance on it. I don't support it. Because it's like, alright, so this man says these things. Forget all of the, well, he said it once, it was a mistake, blah, 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 that's a lie. I don't want to hear that shit. Y'all get on my nerves. All I'm saying is, if y'all was going to do this, you should have just did it, like, permanently. Like, it should have just never happened again. 3 years? Nah, bruh. Give it a good 10, maybe 15, and see how that work out. Because it's like, alright, you want to give it enough time to where it die down and where ain't nobody talking about you no more. You know what I'm saying? To where everybody will quote unquote forget what happened and all that bullshit, babe. Whatever. Because you know good and damn well, if that was the case, then y'all wouldn't have been running around asking all the black people how the fuck they felt for him coming back. So get the fuck. So you can get out of the fuck out of my face with that shit. Like, all I'm saying is, it's like, alright, either if you was gonna do it, you should did it all the way. But instead, they just decide, yeah, we just gonna, you know, kind of lightly tap them on the wrist a little bit. Alright, we just gonna suspend you for 3 years. But it ain't like they wasn't in contact with them. It ain't like they wasn't talking to them behind the scenes or whatever the fuck.
No, I mean, this thing has been coming, right? Here was my biggest problem with Hogan. It's like, okay, with Papa John, right? I felt like Papa John said nigga, but he didn't call somebody a nigga, per se. Hogan was referring to somebody as niggas. You know what I mean? I think that's internal. I think that's deeply held. I feel like I could
look, I'm gonna tell you, alright. I feel like neither one of them should have said the shit and they both count. I don't care. Like, I ain't even with the shit. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Well,
I ain't with it.
Yeah.
I'm not finna fuck with this. I'm not even finna play around with it. Neither one of them should have said, I don't care what context it is in, so they both cancel. Like, I'm done with the both of them. I've been done with Hogan. I don't like Papa John's no motherfucking way. So I was when I found that out on I watched the news and I seen that, I was like, oh, okay, that's an even more reason for me not to eat that nasty shit. Like, I'm not finna sit here and play with you. Okay, I just don't. Keith, you know why I don't eat Jimmy John's? This ain't even got nothing to do with it. But you know why I don't eat Jimmy John's other than the fact that I don't like their sandwiches? That dude be out here poaching animals and humping sharks. I don't got time for this. Like, I'm not with it. Like, there's just certain things I just don't support. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I am for the. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm for the sport of hunting. I'm not for the sport of hunting endangered species. Let's not do that. Like, what are you doing? Like, it's one thing, and then I don't even mind hunting. Like, I don't like the idea of killing an animal. You know what I'm saying? For sport, of course, you know, we eat chicken and beef and, you know, all that kind of stuff. That's normal shit. But like, for sport, like, you just out here shooting deer and shit. Like, no, like, what are you doing? When you run around here just loosely using racial slurs, I don't care what context you're using in, you're wrong. Period, point blank, the end, get out my face. Like, I'm not even finna. So when you run around here like, oh, nigga this, nigga that, nigga, baby, no. Because if you said it once, you've said it before, and you're gonna say it again. Don't play with me. Don't act like I don't know. Don't act like I'm gonna believe when you sit here in my face and say it was a mistake, and I'll never do it again. You lying. Come on, man. You lying. Hogan was old, bruh. Like, this ain't 20-year-old Hogan we talking about. You know what I'm saying? This not an 18-year-old Hogan that's just some. This ain't a 15-year-old Hogan that's some kid that, you know, is no.
These are
Hogan was old enough to be completely set in his ways for a good 20 years. Baby, get out of my face.
These ideas were embedded. And I mean, they were embedded in his soul. Right. You know why? Because he bore his soul after he got his hanky-panky on with his best friend wife that his best friend taped, which is weird as shit to begin with. But, this is what. One thing we gotta stop doing, like I said, racism got to be everybody's problem. Wrestling has had an issue with race since day one. So it's all kind of interesting. The characters that have came out, like we said, we discussed the late great Brickhouse Brown. He was a heel in the 80s. Why? Because, hey, just like Ernie Ladd was a heel. Because you know what? That's what people were comfortable with. Right? Black people as bad guys that we can set up a baby face to overcome. Okay. I think as much as we've asked all the black wrestlers how they feel, I think we're just barking up the wrong tree. Is the WWE comfortable enough with what Hogan did? And what did he do? Did we just wait time for this to happen? Or did he go through some sensitivity training? Did he get some coaching from somebody? Did he talk to some people? You know what I mean?
No. I guarantee you he ain't do none of that.
Has he volunteered at some places? Has he, really soaked into, learning? You know what I mean?
I ain't laughing because this is funny. I'm laughing because that sounds absurd. I know he ain't do none of that. Come on, man. They're not going to... Because Hogan, it's not like Hogan is some wrestler nobody knows. You know what I'm saying? Or that's not so popular that everybody can say his name. Hogan goes back generations, okay? Generations. So it's not people say Hogan, they don't know who you're talking about.
No, I mean, it's the most popular name when it comes to a wrestler of all time. Nothing is...
Right.
If you know nothing about wrestling, you know that this guy was a big deal.
Right. So with that being said, if Hogan would have did any of that, it would have been all over everywhere. TMZ would have been on it. They would have been reporting it in different places. It would have been highly on Entertainment Tonight because they always got to scoop on some shit. I'm telling you, we would have seen these things. None of that happened. None of that happened. Hogan was just out living his life, doing whatever the hell shit he was doing. The only thing Hogan was doing was suing that dude for taping him because he said that he didn't know. I don't care if you knew or not. The fact of the matter is, you said the shit. That don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of if that tape was rolling or it wasn't, baby, you the one who said it. These were your own words. No one could force you to say this. Nobody paid you to say this. Nobody wrote this for you. This ain't no promo. You know what I'm saying? This is your own personal feeling that came out of your mouth, and it just happened to get caught on tape. With or without your knowledge, I don't care which one it is. The fact of it is, that's not even the point. You know what I'm saying? So, I didn't know he was suspended for 3 years. I'll give you this one. I wasn't aware that he was suspended for the 3 years, and if I was, I totally forgot. Because I thought, they was just done with it. No, because somebody had said something to me a good week, it was right after. No, actually it was before. I think it was about 2 weeks before I was talking about wrestling with somebody else, and they was talking about Hogan saying it. No, it was right after the Papa John, the CEO Papa John's had, that story had broke. They was talking about Hogan and how he got treated like Chris Benoit and all that kind of stuff. No, let me tell y'all the difference. Chris Benoit got erased from the record books completely. They erased that nigga name from every goddamn thing. It's like Chris Benoit never fucking wrestled. People don't even know who the fuck Chris Benoit is because when that shit happened, it was a wrap. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, I'm comparing apples to oranges, but at the same time, this was what the conversation that was brought to me was. And I'm because they was they did Hogan the same way. I said, no, they didn't. They didn't do Hogan the same way. They didn't do Hogan the same way at all. Hogan was still mentioned. People were still dressing like Hogan, talking about Hogan. You know what I'm saying? Hogan was still around, out, so to speak. It wasn't folks... Yeah, I noticed, for the first, year, no one said anything about Hogan at all. But then, slowly but surely, you can see him creeping back into the picture. So when he was reinstated, it's baby, y'all didn't see this a year and a half ago? I noticed these things a long time ago. That they was bringing him back up and back around and all that stuff. So when Velveteen Dream comes out in Hogan colors, ripping his shirt open, acting like Hogan, y'all don't think we knew what was happening? Like, it's not. It wasn't a secret. It just happened to, you know, be put out there in a bigger light. And I'm like, oh, well, whatever. Then you run around in all the black wrestlers' faces with a microphone. Like, what do you think? What do you think they think? Even if they all don't have the same opinion about it. Like, let's assume. What do you think they think? Are you serious? Like, that's just my assumption of it. I'm not going to ask you because I know what you think already. If anything, baby, I'm going to avoid you at all costs. Because I already know what you think. Even if I don't, I assume I know what you think. As a black person, I'm just saying, as a black person that has heard this man speak in the way that he has about this situation, to say the things that he has said, I'm going to assume I already know how you feel. And I'm not even going to ask you. Let me go ask somebody that probably who opinion will have a little bit more grounding to it. Not saying that there's don't. It's not saying that there's don't. I don't discredit the opinion of everybody black, because guess what? We the ones that go through shit. But you gonna ask the ones that's being oppressed, hey, what's your thoughts on this? Just get out my face. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna cuss you out just because you asked me that dumbass shit. Like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Go away.
Yeah.
Like, for real.
I just wanted to kind of air that out. And with that, I was gonna go through a SmackDown and Raw recap, but I don't think we need to do that. It was a show.
Keith, I can't deal with WWE right now. I don't know what they got going on. Like, somebody needs some letters, some videos. I need to be hitting up YouTube or something. This is ridiculous. Like, they gotta put these pay-per-views back up. I'm not dealing with this. Yeah. I'm just not. Like, this
Once
is
again,
awful.
That's why I told you I gotta watch some more New Japan. Get back into my Impact Wrestling on Thursday. I got the app to watch it too. Hey, ROH is kicking ass. Like, I'm gonna get around and watch a lot of other stuff.
Yeah, because man.
But that is it for this week. And a lot else to talk about. We'll be back. I don't know where. Hopefully next week. If I got internet set up at the new place the week after, then I don't know. We'll be working on it. But with that,
yay, the new place! Yay!
We are out.
Yay!
Oh, for those who don't know, I bought a house. I think I've said that in the last show. I bought a house. So we're moving in like on the 29th, and it's the last move, and that's it. But with that, we out. Thank y'all for listening. We'll be back. We'll be back. We'll be back. We'll be back.
Yeah, we'll be back.